The last thing I'm going to talk about is grief. Grief comes to us in all kinds of ways, in all things that we experience. Obviously, when we think about grief, we think about death. And we think about what we felt when someone we love died. There's all these different stages of grief that you go through. There's all kinds of, every single hospice group has bereavement classes that they take you through for a year or two after you've experienced a loved one who's died. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that. Don't think, oh, I can just handle this on my own. I'd like to talk about another kind of grief too. I had a patient who had come to visit their family across the country, and they'd come there for Christmas to be with them. And while they were there, she got sick, and she got the flu or pneumonia, I can't remember which one it was, but she was hospitalized. And then from there, she went into a rehab until she got strong enough to be going back home. Well, while she was in rehab, her family, her husband had died 3 years earlier, and her family didn't like the fact that she lived clear across the country on a farm by herself, and so they went and sold the farm and had her stay where she was at with them and moved her into their home. When I met her, she was in the home and was just the most lovely lady and wanted to know, needed permission to feel what she was feeling. And so I let her just talk to me. And what she was doing was grieving for the place that she had left, for the place that she didn't get to say goodbye to, for the friends that were no longer in her life. And it's really important that we allow people time to grieve. She was afraid that if she brought it up to her son, that her son would think that she didn't appreciate it and didn't want to be there with him. She really did want to be there with him, but she had wanted time to go back, to say goodbye, to have closure from her home. And I asked her if it would be okay with her if I talked to her son about him giving her permission to grieve. It sounds weird, I know, but she felt that he wouldn't understand, and she was going through such a grieving process that he didn't know what she was going through. So I called him up and I told him what she was going through, and that she just needed, he was very kind, and he says, what do I need to do? And I said, you need to give her permission to grieve. She loves you, she wants to be with you. You need to give her permission to grieve. And so he did. And it was a wonderful way, a wonderful situation. I love seniors. I know I'm getting up to be a senior. That's fine. I love being with them. Most of the seniors I were with were still 20 to 40 years older than me. And if I can help anyone in any way as they're going through life's things that come to them, life's events that come to them, life whether it's a death or an injury or a stroke or a loss of hearing, a loss of a limb, a new disease, no matter what it is that you're going through, understand that part of that is the adjustment period. It's a grieving period and a depression period if we are not allowed to grieve appropriately and look at things the way we need to do them.